It is one of the greatest moments in Major League Baseball history. Those of us who are old enough to remember the push towards the day, game, and at-bat of the feet will never forget it. It was emotional, relieving, and exhausting. September 11, 1985, Cincinnati, Ohio's Riverfront Stadium the stage. Finally, Pete Rose slaps a single base hit off of San Diego Padres' Eric Show to eclipse what was once thought of as unreachable, Ty Cobb's career mark in base hits. To reach 3,000 in a career meant you were an automatic lock to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. But 4,000? And then to pass the Georgia Peach? Unthinkable. 4192, the number fans had been reading about for months, studying as part of the game's past, plastered on signs they brought to the ballpark. It all came down to this glorious Wednesday night performance. Tickets were selling for astronomical prices. To have an original stub is, in itself, to own a piece of history. All this is magical, momentous, and gets fans excited about all that is good regarding the game. Except for one small detail. The day, the game, the hit, the record, it's all a lie. Ty Cobb finished his playing career in 1928, coincidentally playing his last game on September 11. He was inducted as part of Cooperstown's inaugural class of 1936, his plaque reading, "Retired with 4,191 Major League hits." For decades, historians and stat freaks alike grew up thinking the number was gospel. It was an honest mistake. Cobb was credited for a two-hit game twice in 1910, the second game of a doubleheader being recorded for both that day and the following. Cobb was awarded the American League's batting title that year, besting Nap Lajoie by 1 point. After becoming aware of the gaffe, League President Ban Johnson kept the era quiet in an attempt to keep the embarrassment to a minimum. In 1981, Commissioner Bowie Kuhn was presented with the findings, but wanted to keep the printed number as it was, what with superstar Pete Rose possibly on the verge of breaking one of the greatest records ever. He claimed there was a statute of limitations on such findings, and to rewrite the books would not be practical. The number stood, and Cobb's 1910 batting championship also remained, though he officially finished the year 1 point behind Lajoie, 382 to 383. All those games, all those at-bats, all those years traveling by train to play in different cities, and Tyrus Raymond Cobb only had 4,189 hits. Sabre, Retro Sheet, Baseball Almanac, and Baseball Reference have all since changed Cobb's career total to 4,189. Total Baseball and Major League Baseball, who usually walk hand in hand when it comes to numbers and are very slow to catch up to the rest, still recognize the old number. In case you're wondering, Ty's plaque in Cooperstown will never change. Going back to our friend Mr. Rose, if we work backwards from this new number and use some fancy subtraction, we discover Rose picked up career hit 4192 Wednesday, September 11, 1985, when he singled in the first inning against Eric Show. During the same series, he went 0 for 4 Tuesday the 10th and did not play on Monday the 9th. The previous series was against the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field. Hit 4191 came on Sunday the 8th, a single in the 5th inning off of Reggie Patterson, normally a reliever who filled in for the injured Steve Trout. 4190 arrived earlier in the day game, a first inning single also against Patterson. The game was tied at 5 after 9 complete innings, but called due to darkness. Remember, no lights at Wrigley until 1988. The tie is not recognized in either team's record that season. Pete went 0 for 4 with 1 walk on Saturday the 7th, going up against Jay Baller and Hall of Famers Dennis Eckersley and Lee Smith. Hit 4189 arrived Friday the 6th in the form of a 6th inning single off of Reggie Patterson in his regular position out of the bullpen. Earlier in the game, 4188 was a 2-run home run in the second against Derek Botello. So we can determine that Sunday, September 8, 1985 was the correct day, and the first inning single, number 4190 against Reggie Patterson, was the one that should be in the Hall of Fame Museum. Patterson appeared in just 22 total games during an uneventful 4-year career. He had been called back up to the Cubs earlier in the month after surgery following being shot and mugged in Venezuela the previous November. Now many will know the true minute details to a very well-known accomplishment. Ty Cobb is forever honored with a plaque, spikes, and other game-used memorabilia Cooperstown's hallowed halls. Might Pete Rose one day be exonerated and join the true greats of the game? Seems unlikely as of now, but as we've learned in baseball, things do change.